you can transform your kitchen waste into fertile soil fast for free. Such a nice consistency, almost like a banana smoothie.
My Jamaican Backyard Garden, Portmore edition. This is Gardening with Stacey. Come garden with me now, man.
And what a nice place to live. Sweet jam.
Welcome and welcome back to another Gardening with Stacey. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all so much. God bless you. All right, so inside here, these are some blended kitchen scraps that I'm going to add to my soil, and this baby will have my soil fertile and ready in a matter of days. Let me take you to how I got here. Right here, I have some kitchen scraps inside here. This was in the fridge. That's what I do generally. I store my kitchen scraps until I'm ready for them. And that's because I don't want those little wiggly worms to form if I store them outside of the fridge. So this portion, I already cut up. The ones that go in my compost, I do not cut them up. If I'm burying them in my soil, I also cut them up fine and bury them in my soil. All right, so let's get to it. Oh, I didn't get any water. All right, let me get some water. Just going to put all of this in, whatever scraps you have. If you use coffee and you have the grounds, you peel a banana, you add it to it. You peel a carrot. If you do, you add it to it. You have some leftover greens, you can add it to it. You can even add the fish bones and stuff like that that you use, that you have left over. All right, so when I blend my kitchen scraps, I generally don't let it water down. I let it have that nice, thick consistency. So there it is. All right, so what blending does to your kitchen scraps before adding it to your soil or your compost, it kickstart the breakdown process drastically. So usually in earlier years of my gardening, I did nothing but to blend my kitchen scraps before adding them to the soil, whether before I start to plant in the container or after I start planting in the container. So whether I have plants in or no plants in, I generally blend my kitchen scraps first. And guess what? The reason I stopped blending was one day I broke the blender that I was using in my garden, because I had separate blenders. I had my personal kitchen blender and I had my garden blender. And from the moment the garden blender broke, I didn't get another one. I just cut up the kitchen scraps fine, very fine, and put them in the container, which they do break down quickly as well because I make sure to cut them up fine. But when they are blended, my, that's the fastest ever turnaround time for your fertile soil. So right before you start your garden or start your bed or start your container, you can do this. Add it to your soil and let it sit. Of course, you're going to water it like you would water your containers with your plants daily or every other day. Whichever way you go about watering, you'll keep up with that. All right, and so you just let it sit there for at least 2 weeks before you start planting. Trust me, by 2 weeks time, you're not able to make out the blended product different from the soil that you actually had. It breaks down quite quickly, and guess what? It is free. because it's kitchen waste. All right, so if you can get some topsoil from somewhere, you can turn that baby into an amazing fertile soil for your garden. So you don't have to strain your pocket, you don't have to break the bank to get you some bags of soil. Alright, so I'm just going to throw this out into a garden friendly container so I can put back my blender inside. You know, I may just get back a blender for my garden because I actually love this way, because I always get great results from this. And talking about it now, and it's bringing back memories, I am on it. I am going back to this. Well, of course, I'm still going to have my kitchen scraps in my barrel for my liquid fertilizer. Going forward, I think I'm going to go back to this method. Now all the memories coming back, how great this was with my plants. Yay! Like a pudding mixture ready to go in the oven. Alright, so of course, like I said, you use it to amend your soil, or you use it to prepare your soil for planting. Alright, so if you look right here, I have some really great soil right here. And this is simply because I generally bury my kitchen scraps inside here. Alright, so usually in a soil like this that I have right here, I would just bury the kitchen scraps. Let me take out some of the soil. Rest it right here. So it's just the same way that I bury the kitchen scraps when I cut them up fine. It's the same thing that I do. I just add the blended mixture inside here like this, and I just bury it just the same. So basically what I do is just water it in and let it sit there for however long you want to, but I recommend having it there for at least 2 weeks. Alright, so for my containers like this, you can just find a little space somewhere. Don't have to be a big space. You don't have to have a lot going in, especially if you do this on a weekly basis. You can just do according to how much you can get in your container, right? Because for me personally, it is difficult for me to get a lump sum in my containers because I grow a lot in my containers. I grow compact, so sometimes it's just a little space like here. I can add a little. So if you can do this every week, add a little of this to your soil every week, man, your plants will love you for it. All right, so you just put it, bury some in there like that, and you go about your merry way and go about your business on a regular. Your plants love you, you love the results your plants are giving you, and everybody live happily ever after. Kitchen scraps in the garden does work. Whether you blend it and bury in your soil, whether you cut them up finely and bury them in your soil, whether you use them to make your liquid fertilizer, it does wonders for me, and it can do the very same for you. Alright, I hope this video was helpful to you. Share with others so they too can join in and experience the magic of using kitchen scraps to boost your soil health. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and until next time, walk good.
Come garden with me now, man.
And what a nice place to live. Sweet jam down.